Hello, Victoria.
Hi, Gary.
Hi. We are meeting actually in behalf of your 72-year-old mother who was 5 years ago, I believe, diagnosed with dementia, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, how does that dementia unfold in her life?
Um, well, she has trouble getting words out and forming words. Um, she has a lot of mobility issues now. They seem to be getting kind of worse. Um, she's had grand mal seizures, which have started about a year and a half ago.
And how often do those happen?
She's kind of on a 6 week cycle,
Okay.
sometimes less, but usually she's around 6 weeks.
When was the last one?
On Thursday,
And so today is, what is today?
Sunday.
Sunday. So it's 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah,
So you got another 6 weeks to go before you expect typically
maybe,
another one. Okay.
maybe. She was actually
Okay.
a little early. She was only 4 weeks when she had this one.
Okay. All right. And keep going. Tell me more about the symptoms.
Um, she has lost a lot of weight. Um, had trouble eating. They decided it was because of her pancreas. She had a pancreatic attack as well as the grand mal seizure all happened on the same night a year and a half ago. There was a blockage in her pancreas. So since then, they had decided she had chronic pancreatitis. They put her on quite a heavy duty pain medication. It's called fentanyl. It's a narcotic. Um, she was on that for quite a while, lost a lot of weight. She had probably been about 130 pounds at the time that it happened, and she's currently now at 80, 85 pounds.
Okay. Let me interject something if I may. As it turns out, my with our video connection with Skype is not the best, and as it turns out right now, my video is pretty fuzzy. Yours is fine. Now,
Okay.
mine just switched back. Okay, so I want to advise people looking in that Skype does that. Okay, so
Okay.
all right. But the other thing what I really want to zero in on is her dementia symptoms. If you could zero in on those for me.
um, well, mainly it's she recognizes us. She can't remember names. On a rare occasion, she can pull out a name, but usually it's for us, anyways. We don't have her on any dementia medications, which has made a big difference. She still recognizes who we are, can't pull out names. She mutters a lot, talks a lot about other, like people from the past, a lot of hymns and hers, and well, she did this and then she did that, but she can't tell me who they are or give me a name.
Okay.
Um, sometimes she can talk about specific things, sometimes she can't. She has a lot of issues in the bathroom. She doesn't like people touching her. Um,
When you say issues in the bathroom, you mean using the toilet and stuff?
she can still use the toilet, but she needs to be taken to it. Like somebody needs to help to walk her there. Um, and then pulling down her pants is a huge issue. She'll use the bathroom, and then she needs help to be wiped. That's a big issue. That usually fires up a whole lot of emotions and whatnot.
Okay.
Um, she has trouble getting ready for the day, so we have people that come in to help her, get dressed and washed and stuff, and that's a huge issue as well. A lot of trouble around that area.
Okay. Let me ask you this, if I may. If what we do here is successful for her,
Yes.
How would you know it? I'm looking for ways to measure. Now, you just gave me a bunch of stuff that, like, for example, she doesn't like people to touch her. So I would imagine if we were successful and you went
Yes,
up and put your hand on her shoulder, she would have a different response. Would I be correct in that?
yes, absolutely.
Okay. So when you say people, even you can't touch her.
Yes, there are times in the bathroom. Out in the out in the living room or whatever. You can touch her, hold her hand. She's okay. But if you're trying to help her in the bathroom, it doesn't matter who it is. She just you can't help.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, you gave me a list of things here, and obviously we're not the only way we can measure, the only way you can know whether or not what we're doing is going to be successful, and this is going to be a real challenge for other reasons that we'll bring up in a few moments here. But the only way we're going to know is to have some kind of measurement, and that's going to be won't be able to do it numerically. I don't think like
Yeah.
she was at 8 on something and now she's a 2 or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be more subjective, more tangible.
Yes.
Do I remember correctly in a previous conversation we had that she doesn't recognize her husband? Or was that?
No, she recognizes him.
Oh, but she'll wake up and he'll be in bed and
Yes.
then and she'll think it's a strange man.
Yes.
How
And
often
then
does that happen?
maybe once or twice a month. Sometimes it could happen as much as once a week, but usually maybe once or twice a month. And then, I mean, she like screams the house down. Like if we had
Yeah.
neighbors, they would think we were killing her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, in a previous conversation, we talked about the cause of this,
Yes,
and in your opinion, there are two possibilities. One is what the doctors say,
yes,
right, including hereditary factors, and in fact, it's actually I wrote this down. It's frontal temporal mixed vascular dementia.
yes,
But anyway, they point to a number of physical things. I think
yes.
diabetes is one of those, high blood pressure is another one, and things like that. Okay. Okay. You have a different view of that, and tell me what that is.
I believe she was abused, quite possibly sexually abused when she was 12 or 13.
Okay. And as a result, this is, I mean, it's, if I remember correctly, this is something she doesn't want to talk about. You can't get, you're actually speculating. You've had to be with other therapists before, and they have surmised this in the past. Any topic even around that she avoids. Do I have that right?
Yes,
And so, I mean, there's lots of evidence, if you will, not necessarily proof, that she was significantly abused sexually,
yes,
perhaps otherwise,
yes,
at early ages. She also, if I recall it correctly, hates her father.
yes,
We don't know, but we could put together that he may have been a perpetrator if there was sexual abuse and so on.
yes,
And so the idea here is that is such an ominous event in her life. It's something she would like to forget.
yes,
And that would be a non-medical reason for this. There are other people that have high blood pressure and that have diabetes and that have this, that, and the other thing who don't have dementia.
yes,
And I don't want to play doctor here because I'm a long way from a doctor. But where we come at it from EFT is we're looking for emotional causes. So what we're going to address here is the potential emotional causes for this. And what's challenging here, which is going to be very interesting, not only to me and those listening, but to you and hopefully your mother, is that we're going to do this surrogately. She's not able really to have this occur for her. So we are going to do this surrogately as though we are her. And we have lots of experience saying that surrogate work indeed does work on other people. We have a lot of experience with that. Is it perfect? Do we get 100%? No. Is it worth doing? Yes. Will we get results? We don't know. We don't even know if we can measure them. And because we don't even know specifically what went on that might be the emotional cause, we have to guess at that. Okay?
Yeah.
So, talk about a challenge.
Hope you're up for it.
Well, yes. Let's talk about the surrogate work for a moment. Just so we put a little perspective on here. I've done surrogate work lots with people. I have done it with entire audiences and had major numbers, and I do it for the whole audience. Don't even know specifically what their issues are. And big sections of them, like 80% of them, thereabouts, 70%, 80%, get some noticeable improvement on what they're doing, even though I'm doing all the tapping on me for them, and they're just sitting there. Okay? So that all gets to the point that we're all connected in some fashion. I've been on stage with people. One lady, for example, had a very severe back pain. It was a lower back pain. It was like an 8 or 9. And had been that way for several days. She was in this workshop. She didn't even know why she would come because she didn't think she could sit through it, the pain and all that. She came up on stage. She never tapped at all, and within a few minutes, the pain was gone. Okay, so there are other times I do it, and it doesn't seem like much happens. Okay, so I'm only pointing that out. There is something about the fact that we are all connected, even though it doesn't appear that way to our senses. But from a spiritual point of view, we're sort of all one. That's the idea we're getting into. But we have lots of evidence that there's some truth in that. Okay. So,
absolutely.
All right. So, I think what I'd like to do, these are always experiments, is to have you become your mother.
Okay.
That is, we don't have to go through any ritual on that. You just are going to be your mother.
Okay.
You're going to be Donna.
Okay.
And I am going to do a session with you, Donna.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
Now, I'm actually doing it with Victoria. Okay?
Yeah.
We're not fooling anybody here. So, I may from time to time ask you as Victoria what you might think,
Sure.
But in the meantime, you're going to just try to be here. I'm going to ask you questions, and since you're speculating and don't know,
Okay.
you're going to have to guess at that. And
Yeah.
I know you're guessing, so I'm going to try to arrange the words here in ways that are going to be hopefully most useful. And we're not going to know if this is going to work until time goes on. You see how your mother responds.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect.
So, since you are going to be your mother, would I call her Donna, by the way? Is that how she'd like to be called, or should I call her something else?
No, Donna.
Donna, okay. So I'll call her Donna. You're going to have to adopt a posture as Donna, different than Donna can actually do, because she's not really able to speak all that well and remember things all that well, etc. So, you're sort of a stand-in, but you are Donna for these purposes, okay?
Okay.
So you know where the tapping points are? You're a newbie at EFT, I gather.
Yep.
You've done it with some success in other areas.
Yes.
But you do know where the tapping points are.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what happens. Okay. Hello, Donna.
Hello.
Donna, I understand somewhere around age 12 or 13, you had an experience, one or more experiences you really don't want to talk about. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. I know you don't want to talk about them, but we're trying to help you. So, as best as you can recollect, what happened?
I was in the bathroom. I was doing bathroom type things my father came in and started touching me not the way a father should.
Sexually?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you feel about that?
I felt disgusted, angry, violated,
Okay.
a lot of rage.
Now, I'm going to presume, but you tell me if I'm wrong, Donna, that this wasn't the only event, and there eventually more went on than just touching. Would I be correct?
Yes.
There was actual sexual intercourse.
Yes.
There was forced oral sex.
Possibly.
Okay. You don't remember?
No.
Okay. All right. My, let me ask you, Victoria, as I ask these questions. Do you get emotional intensity as I ask these questions? You personally?
Yes.
At what number?
Mm,
Zero to 10.
Probably 7.
Okay. Is that because you've had similar experiences, or you're feeling for your mother?
I'm feeling for my mother.
Okay. All right. We're back to Donna. Tap with me. By the way, Donna, I'm going to assume that you're a 10 on this. If you were to close your eyes and vividly reimagine this, I'm going to assume you're going to be a 10. You're going to be back into rage, anger, disgust, and so on. Okay.
Yes.
And what we're going to try to do with the EFT, tapping process is we're not going to change what happened, but we're hoping to bring down the emotional response to it. Okay.
Yes.
And we're going to do it gently at first. I'm going to be very kind of global and general about this, and then we're going to get closer and closer down to very specific things. Okay. So it'll be easier as we go along. Okay. So tap with me. Even though I was in the bathroom.
Even though I was in the
No,
bathroom.
I'm going to be more global still. Even though I've had experiences
Even though I've had
I'd
experiences
rather not have had,
I'd rather not have had.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
These bad experiences.
These bad experiences.
These bad experiences.
These bad experiences.
If you just take 4 fingers and tap between your eyebrows, that's a kind of an easy way to do it. Okay, you get both sides. These bad experiences.
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 Keep going.
These bad experiences. These bad experiences. These bad experiences.
Okay, you were doing this. That's okay. What I tend to have people do nowadays is to make a fist and thump at the top of your breastbone, about where a man would knot his tie, right about there.
Okay.
That way you get both sides. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Tap with me again. Even though I've had these bad experiences,
Even though I've had these bad experiences,
and they involved my body,
and they involved my body,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
And I forgive myself just in case I had any contribution to this.
And I forgive myself just in case I had any contribution to this.
And I'm open to the possibility
And I'm open to the possibility
that I might be able to forgive or at least understand anybody
that
else involved.
that I might be able to possibly forgive
Or at least understand
or at least understand
anybody else who may have been involved.
anybody else who may have been involved.
We're not excusing anybody's behavior,
We're not excusing anyone's behavior,
but we are open to possibly understanding it.
but I'm open to possibly understanding.
Because if I'm going to get freedom here,
Because if I'm going to get freedom here,
I'm going to need to have some peace on this.
I'm going to need to have some peace on this.
Okay. These bad experiences.
These bad experiences.
These bad experiences.
These bad experiences.
Understanding these bad experiences.
Understanding these bad experiences.
Keep going. Understanding these bad
Understanding these bad experiences. Understanding these bad experiences. Understanding these bad experiences. Understanding these bad experiences. Understanding these bad experiences.
Okay. Guess for me, if you would, Donna, if you were to vividly imagine this again, recreate it in your own mind in vivid terms, would you still be a 10, do you think? It's okay if you are. I'm just curious.
Yes.
You think you would? Okay. Are you, Victoria, still a 7?
No, I think I might have went to a 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tap with me. Um, we're gonna change just a little bit, Donna. We're gonna go to your father for the moment. Okay. Okay. Even though I've had bad experiences with my father,
Even though I've had bad experiences with my father,
which I'd really like to forget,
which I really like to forget,
and I have been, in a way, successful doing
in a way I've been successful doing
with dementia,
with dementia,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I would like to have my memory back
I would like to have my memory back
and have peace on all memories with my father.
and have peace on all memories of my father.
I'd like to have them be just a memory
I'd like them to be just a memory
and not all the charge and anger and rage with them.
and not all the charge of anger and rage with them.
Okay. And I'm hoping that's possible.
And I'm hoping that is possible.
Okay. I'm hoping that's possible.
I'm hoping that's possible.
Let me get different words here. Reducing the rage.
Reducing the rage.
Keep going.
Reducing the rage. 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 Reducing the rage.
Okay. 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 I'm going to go a little bit. What I'm trying to do is get around some edges here as much as I can,
Yes.
and take some edges off. And so I'm kind of relying on some of what we talked about earlier. So with me, even though I really don't like to be touched,
Even though I don't really like to be touched,
even by my daughters,
even by my daughters,
especially in the bathroom.
especially in the bathroom.
Did I say that right? It's especially in the bathroom?
Yes.
If you tried to touch her in the kitchen, would she still recoil?
Should be okay. Should be much. Yeah. Should be okay in the kitchen.
Oh, but if you touch her in the bathroom,
Yeah. You take your life into your own hands.
well, even just to put your hand on your shoulder like a there, mom, a loving touch, as opposed to, let's see if we can't remove some of your clothing and touch. Is there a difference between those?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess I need a distinction for what we're doing here. So if you're in the bathroom and you say, well, come on, Mom, we're going to help you, and you hold her hand or something, that's okay?
That's okay. Yes.
That would be okay.
Yes.
But if you start to undo her belt,
Yes.
now you've got a problem.
Yes. Then she goes into dirty, 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 bad, 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 bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then she'll call you some new names that I won't repeat here.
Okay. I know you're speculating here. I want to get behind dirty, 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 bad, bad, bad. It could reflect sexual abuse in the bathroom. Yes. It could reflect some kind of conditioning, that elimination in the bathroom. This could be sometimes from religious places and from whatever else. Conditioning from parents. Oh, bad, bad, smelly, bad, terrible, not necessarily sexually related.
Yes. Well, yes. My grandfather was a bit of a clean freak. He would concoct different types of cleaning solutions, some of them extremely hazardous to one's health. But he himself had a lot of issues around cleanliness and cleaning and stuff. I'm sure that probably played into part with my mother.
Okay, so we could have two big-time influences here. You
Yes.
are guessing at the sexual
Yes.
intrusion.
Yes.
But we're not guessing so much at the more normal intrusion, if you will.
Yes. definitely.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Um, even though I have been conditioned
Even though I have been conditioned
uh, to consider all bathroom activities dirty,
to consider all bathroom activities dirty,
I recognize that I do these things.
I recognize that I do these things.
My daughters do these things.
My daughters do these things.
My husband does these things.
My husband does these things.
My parents did these things.
My parents did these things.
Everybody I know does these things.
Everybody I know does these things.
It is normal.
It is normal.
It is absolutely normal.
It is absolutely normal.
And I would like to have a normal response.
And I would like to have a normal response.
I would like to be free of this.
I would like to be free of this.
And pass it by.
And pass it by.
I need to be free.
I need to be free.
Dirty, 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 dirty.
Dirty, 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 dirty.
Dirty, dirty, bad, 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 bad.
Dirty, dirty, bad, bad, bad.
Oh, dirty, 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 dirty.
Dirty, 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 dirty.
Bad, 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 bad.
Bad, 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 bad.
Keep going.
Bad, 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 bad. Dirty, 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 dirty. Bad, 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 bad.
Okay. Even though I've grown up my whole life.
Even though I've grown up my whole life.
Thinking dirty, 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 dirty.
Thinking dirty, 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 dirty.
For a perfectly normal thing.
For a perfectly normal thing.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I'm going to stop here for a second. Does your mother have a religious persuasion?
Not really. She's a spiritual person, but I don't think she's ever, she became a Catholic when she married my father, but she's just more been a spiritual person, not really dead set on a particular religion by any means.
If I were to say something in this pepping process like, God would certainly forgive, would that land, or would she just go?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
All right, okay. So even though I may think it's dirty,
So even though I may think it's dirty,
God may not.
God may not.
And his opinion counts more.
And his opinion counts more.
How'd I do with that?
I think that was good, yeah. I think she would be good with that.
Okay. See, depending on how good she might be with that, we can cover over a lot of stuff with God.
True.
So give me as good a sense as you can of that, okay?
Of where she would be with God?
Yeah, if we start entering into the spiritual end of things, and the peaceful end of things, and the forgiving end of things.
What do you think? What was she like before Dad?
By the way, just so others know, you're talking to your sister Dawn, who's off camera,
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, I'm just trying to get from her a sense of what Mom's spiritual things were before she met my father, just to sort of gauge, did they go to church a lot, or was it more just a...
She used to take me as a child, so
Okay.
I think she'd be more than okay with that.
She thinks she'd be more than okay with that. She would used to take my sister to church and stuff on her own, so...
Okay.
Yeah, we think
well, we're guessing, but I'm inclined to use this lever if we can. We'll have to see what happens, okay?
Yep, definitely.
So even though I have been conditioned by my parents,
Even though I've been conditioned by my parents
and others, who are people in this world, that bathroom things are dirty, 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 bad, bad, bad.
That bathroom things are dirty, 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 bad, bad, bad.
God forgives everything.
God forgives everything.
God made us.
God made us.
Including the dirty, 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 bad, bad, bad.
Including the dirty, 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 bad, bad, bad.
And He forgives all.
And He forgives all.
And me.
And me.
And everyone.
And everyone.
And just imagine how we would be.
And just imagine how we would be.
If God didn't give us the ability to have the dirty.
If God didn't give us the ability to have the dirty.
That is, to use the bathroom.
that is to use the bathroom.
Okay. Things would get really dirty then.
Things would get really dirty then.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God, for the dirty.
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 Go ahead.
Thank you, God, for the dirty. 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 Thank you, God, for the dirty.
And even though we all do the dirty,
even though we all do the dirty,
and we thank God for that,
and we thank God for that,
because He's allowing us to cleanse ourselves,
because He is allowing us to cleanse ourselves,
to take the proper nourishment from our food and drink,
to take the proper nourishment from our food and drink,
and get rid of the rest.
And get rid of the rest.
Thank you. What a wonderful thing.
Thank you. What a wonderful thing.
If we had to keep it all inside,
if we had to keep it all inside,
what a mess.
What a mess.
We would all weigh 40 tons.
We'd all weigh 40 tons.
And be full of dirty.
And be full of dirty.
Bad. That would really be bad.
That would really be bad.
Dirty, dirty, dirty is good, good, good.
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 Keep going.
Dirty, dirty, dirty is good, good, good. 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 Dirty, dirty, dirty is good, good, good.
Technically speaking, what we just did is known as a reframe, okay? But I've never done one quite like that.
Either.
Okay, so even though I'm in the bathroom.
Even though I'm in the bathroom.
And I'm older now.
And I'm older now.
And I need help.
And I need help.
And I just thank God that my daughters are there to help me.
I just thank God that my daughters are there to help me.
And they need to help me with my clothes.
And they need to help me with my clothes.
And they're perfectly willing to do it.
And they're perfectly willing to do it.
So we can have good, good, good instead of all that dirty, dirty, dirty staying inside.
So we can have all that good, 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 that dirty, 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 dirty staying inside.
And so I like when they help me with my clothes.
So I like when they help me with my clothes.
I don't resist it anymore.
I don't resist it anymore.
No longer resisting the clothes thing.
No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. No longer resisting the clothes thing. Now, will that go into the people that we have to hire to come in that help her as well?
Oh, yeah. Sure. I hadn't thought about that. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so even though I recognize and truly appreciate that I need the help.
And truly appreciate I need the help.
By the way, does she appreciate she needs the help?
Yes, I think she does.
Okay.
I think she does.
Could she do this on her own?
Right now, maybe wash her face and her hands. Probably not so much the other stuff because she's not very good on her feet.
Does she need diapers?
We put them on just in case. She doesn't. She's usually pretty good. We can get her to the bathroom if we ask her, and sometimes she'll tell us, but sometimes we have accidents.
Okay. All right. But she does, you believe, appreciate the help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Even though I'm older.
Even though I'm older.
And I'm so glad God sent me my daughters.
That God sent me my daughters.
And what's the help's name?
It depends. They send us somebody different.
Oh, okay. So there's no somebody that she has familiarity with.
There is one lady that we hired to come in, and then the other ladies are through our government home care, and they're just different ladies all the time.
Okay, what's the lady that you hired?
Sylvia.
Sylvia. Okay. Even though I so appreciate my daughters and Sylvia,
Even though I so appreciate my daughters and Sylvia
and the other people who helped me in the bathroom,
and the other people that helped me in the bathroom,
it is so nice of them to do this.
it is so nice of them to do this.
God sent them.
God sent them.
And they are so patient with me.
And they are so patient with
And
me.
I recognize the love in this room.
And I recognize the love in this room.
In this bathroom.
In this bathroom.
There's a lot of love here.
There's a lot of love here.
Now, would she buy that?
Yes, she would.
Okay. There's nothing but love here.
There's nothing but love here.
People are trying to help me.
People are trying to help me.
Where would I be if they didn't?
Where would I be if they didn't?
I love that people help me.
I love the people that help me.
Dawn helps me.
Dawn helps me.
Victoria helps me.
Victoria helps me.
Sylvia helps me.
Sylvia helps me.
And all the other people.
And all the other people.
That help me in the bathroom.
That help me in the bathroom.
It's a place of love.
It's a place of love.
It's a place of love.
A place of love.
Keep going.
A place of love. 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 Do we need to throw my father in there too, or will he be included with all the other people?
Well, I was going to get to him.
Okay.
I was only. Wait a minute. Your father or her father?
My father, her husband.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, does he help her in the bathroom?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll do that as well. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
And what's his first name?
Bill.
Bill. Okay. Even though I'm so glad everybody's helping me in the bathroom.
Even though I'm so glad everyone's helping me in the bathroom.
Including my loving husband, Bill.
Including my loving husband, Bill.
I love it when he helps me.
I love it when he helps me.
I love when I wake up in the morning and see him.
I love it when I wake up in the morning and I see him.
In bed with me.
In bed with me.
Sometimes I don't recognize him.
Sometimes I don't recognize him.
But I can recognize his lovingness, even though I don't recognize his face.
Even though I can't recognize him, I can recognize his lovingness.
Okay. All right. That's just as well. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I know God is in my life.
I know God is in my life.
And even when I don't recognize things.
Even when I don't recognize things.
And may feel insecure.
And may feel insecure.
Even around Bill.
Even around Bill.
I know God is there.
I know God is there.
Because he's there in everyone.
He's there in everyone.
He's even assisting Victoria and Gary right now.
He's even assisting Victoria and Gary right now.
In my behalf.
On my behalf.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Keep going.
Thank you, Bill. 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 Thank you, Bill.
Okay. When you said father earlier, somehow or other in my mind I was thinking of her father.
Yes.
Who we are speculating was out of bounds. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We'll see what that does. Okay. We don't know. However, let's go on for a moment because we need to get down to father sexual abuse and things like that.
Okay.
Now, remind me, your first speculation here, Victoria.
Yes.
Was that the sexual abuse occurred in the bathroom?
Yes.
Do you have any reason for that? Was that the only time, or was it ongoing times, or what is your suspicion?
Well, my suspicion is that it was in the bathroom just because she has so much anger and rage in the bathroom. She doesn't seem to have anywhere else, like any other part of the house or anything like that. There's never the rage, the anger, just she just tenses up like, she's like a wildcat in the bathroom.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just go with that. Okay. We'll have to. I may throw in some more generalized type words because it would be my guess, just from my experience, that when we've had sexual abuse, father to daughter, that it isn't just once.
Yes.
But there are times when it's once, I guess. Other times when it's, I know of cases where it's gone on for years, from very early on, age 4 to 24, kind of thing.
Right.
So, all right. Now, this is an area where eventually we're probably going to get down to some really pointed things. We're going to get really specific, even though these things may not have happened, because we want to try to clear out as much of the specificity as we can. Okay, we may be going way over the top in it. Better to that than to try to tiptoe around the surface. Okay.
Right.
So again, I'm going to be a little bit general, but okay. Even though I'm in the bathroom.
Even though I'm in the bathroom.
And I am surprised.
And I am surprised.
My father comes in.
My father comes in.
And he has motivations I'm not used to.
And he has motivations I'm not used to.
I'm only 12 or 13.
I'm only 12 or 13.
I'm just beginning to blossom physically.
I'm just beginning to blossom physically.
Do you happen to know, I'm presuming breasts are starting to form in puberty and this kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I'm becoming a woman.
I'm becoming a woman.
And it appears I am sexually attractive to my father.
And it appears that I am sexually attractive to my father.
I can now feel him touching me.
I can now feel him touching me.
And it disgusts me.
And it disgusts me.
He's touching my breasts.
He's touching my breasts.
And my genitalia.
And my genitalia.
And it disgusts me.
And it disgusts me.
This disgust.
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 Keep going.
This disgust. This disgust.
And even though I'm so disgusted.
Even though I'm so disgusted.
And I don't know what to make of this.
And I don't know what to make of this.
I am surprised by it.
I am surprised by it.
Fathers aren't supposed to do this.
Fathers aren't supposed to do this.
I feel second rate.
I feel second rate.
I'm angry.
I am angry.
Second rate and angry.
Second rate and angry.
Second rate and angry.
Second rate and angry.
Keep going.
Second rate and angry. 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 Second rate and angry.
Okay. Even though I am so angry at this moment.
Even though I am so angry at this moment.
I can physically right now feel his fingers and hands on my breasts.
I can physically right now feel his fingers and hands on my breasts.
And I feel so violated.
And I feel so violated.
Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts.
Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts. Feeling his fingers and hands on my breasts.
And even though I'm so young.
And even though I am so young.
I'm old enough to know what sex is.
I'm old enough to know what sex is.
But this is not what I had in mind.
This is not what I had in mind.
And I have to look at my father.
And I have to look at my father.
Through understanding eyes.
Through understanding eyes.
I'm not about to excuse this behavior.
I'm not about to excuse this behavior.
But somehow he needs to do it.
But somehow he needs to do it.
As inappropriate and as disgusting as it may be.
As inappropriate and disgusting as it may be.
He somehow needs to do it.
He somehow needs to do it.
And I'm too young to understand at age 12 or 13.
And I'm too young at age 12 or 13 to understand.
But I can understand at age 72.
but I can understand at age
I have
72.
enough experience now to understand at age 72.
I have enough experience to understand at age 72.
He was ill.
He was ill.
In his own way, he was ill.
In his own way, he was ill.
Understanding that he was ill.
Understanding that he was ill.
Keep going.
Understanding that he was ill. 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 Understanding that he was ill.
Okay. What I'm trying to do there, and I need your feedback here for a second, is I'm trying to get down, we're going to get even more graphic as time goes on here, but I'm trying to get down to the graphics of it and at the same time bring in a larger picture. Because she's going to need to have peace on this. If we just sit there and go anger, 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 the son of a bitch, da 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 da, you know, we may even take care of some of the anger on it, but we want to get to a place where there's just more,
Yes.
you know, bad experience, you know, but so's a car crash.
Exactly.
Okay, and for falling off your bicycle, for that matter, or getting dumped by your boyfriend or whatever. I mean, there's lots of bad experiences in this world. Okay. All right. Actually, just as an aside, what she may well be dealing with is PTSD. Are you familiar with that term?
Yes.
Okay. It's typically associated with our war veterans.
Yes.
But lots of war veterans are just a small slice of this. People that had traumatic experiences end up having all kinds of nightmares and responses later on, etc., intrusive thoughts, da 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 da. Well, you don't know this about your mother, but I will tell you this. I've had a lot of experiences with war veterans. I mean, lots of them where I'm face to face with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we take care of that PTSD like nothing else. I'm not saying we get 100% and it's all perfect, but boy, let me tell you, the nightmares don't seem to be there, and the responses and the peace, and it's a big difference, okay?
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're doing that here.
Yes.
We will see, okay? But with the veterans, to get this job done thoroughly, we don't just say, even though I have some war memories, we get right down to the fact that, you know, their buddy died and there's eyes in their arms and he's trying to put his entrails back in his abdominal, stuff like that, you know.
Yep.
That's where you got to get down to where the bare metal is, okay?
Yes.
So, okay. So even though I had this really bad experience,
and
I can still feel his need, that I don't understand, touching my breasts, and my nipples, and touching them inside my clothing. That's really invasive. I need to understand this. I can't understand it at age 12 or 13. God can understand it. And the 72-year-old me can understand it.
And the 72-year-old me can understand it.
Not necessarily excusing it. But putting it in perspective so I can have peace. Okay. Feeling his hands on my bare breasts. Keep going.
Feeling his hands on my bare breasts.
Okay. And even though I'm so young and I'm in the bathroom, he proceeds to take my clothes off. At least those that weren't already off. And touching my genitalia. That is really disgusting. On the one hand, I am confused. Because it's both disgusting and we're dealing with pleasure zones. Let me stop here a second. Let me tell you where I'm going. I've dealt with a lot of incest, if you will, in time, and in some cases, many cases actually, the young girl is confused because touching the genitalia, the clitoris, going inside and so on, is where pleasure exists. It is where anatomical pleasure exists. It is also confused with being a form of love because there's pleasure in it. Father is doing it. I have no idea what's happening here, but this confusion can come about because is my father loving me? Is he? What's going on? And I don't know, but we need to touch all those bases. Okay, so that's where I'm going. Okay. So even though I can feel him touching me now, and I'm so confused about this. Because part of it feels good. Mother Nature made it feel good. On purpose. And I may have made it feel good myself all by myself. At this age. And he's doing this. Is he loving me? Or is he using me? I don't know. But it's very confusing. I'm very confused. Pleasure or using me? Go ahead. Loving me or using me?
Loving me or using me. 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 Loving me or using me.
Okay. Let me ask you, Victoria, on a scale of 0 to 10, where you were a 7, 6, are you getting higher, lower, what?
I'd say I kind of went up again.
Okay. All right. Are we triggering into experiences of your own, or are you still in behalf of? I mean, is some of that coming in, or are you?
It's mainly on behalf of my mom.
Okay. All right. Well, what number would you put it at?
I'd probably say I back up to 7, maybe an 8.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, even though I can feel his fingers on my genitalia. What's he doing? He seems so aggressive. Is this love? Or the lack of it? Does he hate me? Or does he love me? I don't know, but I've got something he wants. And he seems intent on getting it. I can feel his fingers touching my genitalia. Keep going.
I can feel his fingers touching my genitalia. 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 I can feel his fingers touching my genitalia.
All right, something occurs to me. I know your sister Dawn is off camera sitting over there. Dawn, are you tapping along as well?
In my head.
All right, tap physically.
Okay.
I hadn't say them to yourself.
Okay.
Say the words to yourself. I just hadn't thought about that, but oftentimes if we have more than one person doing this, it can have an effect. So just if you say the words, it's going to kind of get in the way of our audio. Something. Just whisper it to yourself, so to speak.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Gonna get more graphic still. Here I am in the bathroom. Being fondled by my father. And he takes his pants down. And for perhaps the first time in my life. I see his genitalia. And his penis is standing straight up. And I don't understand that. I know academically what it is. But I don't know what's going to happen now.
And I don't know what's going to happen now.
This is over the top.
This is over the top.
Something's amiss here badly.
Something is amiss here badly.
And he wants me to put it in his mouth.
And he wants me to put it in his mouth.
And I don't want to do that.
And I don't want to do that.
Or maybe I do. I'm confused because maybe my father's trying to love me in some way.
Or maybe I do.
I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Maybe he's trying to love me in some fashion.
Maybe he's trying to love me in some fashion.
But I don't like this.
But I don't like this.
I'm angry about this.
I'm angry about this.
He seems to know I'm angry.
He seems to know I'm angry.
And right now it doesn't matter.
And right now it doesn't matter.
He's putting that thing in my mouth.
He's putting that thing in my mouth.
I can feel it in my mouth right now.
I can feel it in my mouth right now.
I can feel it in my mouth right now.
I can feel it in my mouth right now.
Rage.
Rage.
Feel it in my mouth right now.
Feeling in my mouth right now.
Rage.
Rage.
Keep going.
Feeling in my mouth right now. Rage. Feeling in my mouth right now. Rage.
And even though I can feel all this rage,
and even though I can feel all this rage,
somewhere in all of this,
I
have to recognize my father is not well.
I have to recognize that my father is not well.
I'm too young at this age to really understand that.
I'm really too young at this age to understand.
Maybe I can understand a little bit.
Maybe I can understand a little bit.
But not enough.
But not enough.
This is over the top.
This is over the top.
God can understand this.
God can understand this.
And 72-year-old me can understand this.
And 72-year-old me can understand this.
But we have to send love right now to 12-year-old, 13-year-old Donna. Donna, yeah.
But we have to
send love.
Send love to 12-year-old Donna right now.
Right. God is actually more forgiving than I can be at the moment.
More forgiving than I can be at the moment.
I need to understand this.
I need to understand this.
Really understand this.
Really to understand this.
Okay. Understanding this horrendous event.
Understanding this horrendous event.
All right. Keep going.
Understanding this horrendous event. Understanding this horrendous event. Understanding this horrendous event.
You missed the eyes.
Oh. Understanding this horrendous event. Understanding this horrendous event. Understanding this horrendous event. Understanding this horrendous event. Understanding this horrendous event.
Okay, I tell you what. It's my sense of this that while there's more to go, that I'd like to do some tapping to kind of bring things down and in perspective. Okay, I'd like to do that. There's more. There's the possibility of intercourse and da-da-da-da-da. But for the moment, what I'd like to do is bring this down some. Have you just noticed how your mother responds? Okay. Let me know. We'll do some more on this.
Yes.
But I'm in a place where I need some feedback at this point, and you can't give it to me. Only she can.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So let's do some tapping now. Okay. So even though I've just been through a difficult memory, I hope I've had some understanding here. And some peace. It was a long time ago. It's not happening anymore. And hasn't happened for decades. But I haven't had peace on it. And it's my turn. My father was ill. I understand that now. And I need to have love in my heart for him. For my purposes. So that the love helps me. And I wish it would help my father. But it's the love within me that I need to establish now.
but it's the love within me that I need to establish now.
And leave this experience behind.
And leave this experience behind.
A bad experience.
A bad experience.
But I can have peace now because it's no longer here.
But I can have peace now because it's no longer here.
A bad experience.
A bad experience.
Peace now.
Peace now.
Keep going.
Bad experience. Peace now. Bad experience. Peace now. Bad experience. Peace now.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Gary.
We had a little conversation prior to this recording, and you sent me an email and all in the meantime, and I gather as a result of our session last time, which was maybe a week ago?
Yes.
Something like that. Your mother showed substantial improvement on her behavior type issues anyway, am I correct?
Yes.
Like it was like 75% improvement or something.
Yes.
Can you be a little more specific about what happened, where the improvements were?
They were around the bathroom and getting ready for the day. The ladies had commented how much easier, she'd been to get, help washed and dressed and stuff. They were actually able to wash her face, which they haven't been able to do for a few months without a bad reaction.
And if I may interrupt here, she allowed the face to be washed without any kind of reaction or minimal reaction, or do you know?
I think there was no reaction. Just,
okay.
Just washed my face. And one lady was actually able to do it twice in one day.
Okay, but just for comparison, instead of what kind of a reaction just getting down to washing the face, instead of screaming and yelling or pushing away, or what might the reaction have been? All of that?
Yes.
And instead, now we had none of that?
Yes.
Okay. And other things like around the toilet and so on went a lot easier, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
And getting ready for bed was a lot easier. There was still a little bit, she'd still clutch at the pants kind of idea to hang on to them, but then, I'd just say, "Oh, it's okay, Mom, we're just going to get ready for bed." Okay. And then she just kind of let it go. And before that, she would hang on for dear life or try to grab at me or grab my hair or, anything to get me away.
Okay. And that to me, I think is very encouraging results.
Yeah.
Given the fact that we were shooting in the dark because we don't really know what happened. We just had to guess at it, but I guess we guessed well enough, or we were on the target well enough. Maybe not the bullseye, but we're on the target well enough that it did this. Now, that occurred during this week, except for apparently today. Today, she woke up and apparently she didn't recognize her husband, and she's been a little out of sorts and reverted all the way back to her previous resistance, or not?
Maybe not all the way, but certainly back again. Like not as strong. Like, I mean, sometimes she would get to the point where she'd be hitting people and, that kind of thing. It was just a lot of yelling and get away from me and no and screaming, like, leave me alone.
Okay. And so we talked about this before, and you speculated maybe she had a dream that night. She woke up, didn't recognize her husband and has been out of sorts since, etc. Okay. So, we don't get discouraged by that, because what we do is, it's not like EFT wears off, like a pill might. Okay, it's more like, gee, what happened? What brought this on? What is not done yet with EFT sort of thing? So maybe it was a dream, maybe it was something else, maybe we just need to go through some other things, but we're still in an area where we can't really have verbal exchange with her well enough to pin it down. So we've still got to go into that. So also, if I understand this correctly, and her hip pain got better, but her apparently back pain got worse, and we haven't been able to do much with that.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's more efforts, I think, as we go along. We'll see what happens.